Good evening, San Diego. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis, and thank you for tuning in for your CBS 8 Plus weather update. And while that update is all about the heat, especially over the next couple of afternoons, as we are going to be feeling it across inland regions. So temperatures are going to be climbing as we do have an area of high pressure building over us. That brings in more heat, hot inland highs, especially east of the 15, and then also talking about that strong summer sun. So not just staying nice and hydrated and just making sure you're cool, but also protecting your skin. That UV index hitting an extreme peak. And so that's going to be over the next couple of afternoons. So please be careful out there. Slather on the sunscreen. Make sure you are staying nice and hydrated. And coming up, I'll also tell you about the signs for heat exhaustion as well as stroke and ways to beat the heat over the next couple of days. And we'll just keeping that in mind throughout much of the summer. So you have these hot afternoon temperatures all the way through Thursday. So you're going to see some red boxes popping up with weather impact alert days, and that will be on your extended forecast. It's because of that heat with the heat advisory across the inland valleys as well as for the mountains below 5,000 feet. And so we're looking at some daytime highs that are going to be in the 90s in isolated spots along the foothills around 100 degrees. Now you're seeing those orange shades that favors the heat advisory for those two areas. And then you have the extreme heat warning for the desert. 1 teens are back in the forecast, 114 to 118 over the next couple of afternoons across the desert. That extends in towards Imperial County as well as impacting the Coachella Valley. So not just Borrego Springs, but just Southern California desert lower desert because of this area of high pressure building in. So that will start tomorrow at 10 a.m. for your Wednesday and then lasting all the way through the evening hours about 8 p.m. on Thursday. So the daytime highs we're talking about are those widespread 90s. As mentioned, east of the 15, really going to be feeling that heat. 90 degrees for Escondido, but 93 degrees for Alpine as well as for El Cajon. You even have 93 degrees for Julian, 98 degrees for Campo by tomorrow, 115, and that will be for Borrego Springs. You have milder temperatures right there along the coast. That's because of that marine layer. So with this area of high pressure building in, it creates a more shallow marine layer that has the low clouds as well as the development of some fog. That would favor the coast and metro cities. That's why you're seeing these 70s that will be for daytime highs by tomorrow. So milder conditions along the coast because of that cooler air moving in and then seeing the heat across inland areas with not much of a marine layer expected over the next couple of nights and mornings. So allowing us to quickly get to those temperatures. Also 88 degrees tomorrow for Fallbrook. So know the signs of heat exhaustion. Heat-related illnesses are the #1 weather-related killer here in the United States. And so when we talk about heat exhaustion, this is why we stress not being outside and doing those strenuous outdoor activities like hiking during those midday hours or any type of workout in general. And that's because if you're not hydrated enough, you can suffer from heat exhaustion. So excessive sweating, also talking about nausea, maybe even vomiting, muscle cramps. You get to a cool place. Also drink plenty of water or maybe even take a cool shower to help get your body temperatures down. You could also have a rapid weak pulse. Heat stroke is much dire and also should be taken very seriously. If you see someone suffering from some of these signs or you start to feel this yourself, call 911 immediately. Cool that person off until help arrives because those signs would be a throbbing headache, no sweating at all. In fact, the skin would be red, it would be hot, and it would be dry. Someone could lose consciousness when it does come to heat stroke. And that's why we say call 911 immediately and then cool that person's body down or even cool yourself down. Drink plenty of water. Cold foods, that also helps to bring your temperature down. And eating some fruits that contain water, even vegetables that contain water as well, like cucumbers. Also looking at utilizing those cool zones, libraries if you can. Also movie theaters are great as well. Using fans, air conditioners if you do have them. Avoiding those strenuous outdoor activities as I mentioned. I know a lot of you like to play pickleball. You're also doing that on some asphalt, so that absorbs a lot of that sunshine. Making sure that you are avoiding that during the midday hours, especially when we're talking about these heat alerts going into effect. Also wearing light-colored, lightweight, loose-fitted clothing. That will help you. It just kind of bounces those sun rays off rather than absorbing them, and that's what we have a tendency to see or feel, especially when you have those dark colors on. And being mindful of your pets. Never leave pets or children unattended in hot vehicles or in vehicles in general when we have this heat because temperatures quickly warm up. But then on top of that, I see a lot of you walking your pets. You should avoid that, especially during during the afternoon hours, because if you're going to be walking on asphalt, it can actually burn their paws. And so if you cannot place your hand on the ground for 10 seconds without taking it off because it's too hot, their paws can't handle it either. So these are just tips to get you through the next few summer months, and also another way to beat the heat, going to the beach. So water temperature is going to be 69 degrees for tomorrow. You have the surf, small surf, about 1 to 3 feet, and sets up to 4 feet with a low risk of rip currents at our local beaches. The area of high pressure is overhead. That is why we're talking about the heat. It's created a ridge of high pressure even near the Four Corners, and that's also why you saw some of those alto-cumulus clouds earlier today. So a little sign of some upper level moisture, and that's being generated from basically a circulation with this area of high pressure tapping into some Gulf moisture. We have this weak low pressure system that's just towards the northwest of us, and it is weak, so it's not going to do too much except for move that area of high pressure over us. That's why the next couple of afternoons will be very hot. That's bringing those alerts across San Diego County, especially for inland areas, not so much for the coast. Then you have this area of high pressure holding on all the way into Thursday. It starts to flatten out a little bit with that ridge on Friday. Temperatures will slip just by a couple of degrees, and then by the weekend, temperatures will hit another little bit of a slip by a couple degrees, getting us all the way into the start of next week. So that area of high pressure will be around, but it's just not going to be as amplified. You have the 70s for the coast, mid to upper 70s next couple of afternoons. You're back into the low 70s starting on Friday. You ride that wave all the way into next week. Weather impact alert days, red boxes indicating that for the inland valleys because those 90s over the next couple of afternoons. You're back into the 80s by Friday. You take those all the way into next week as well. You have weather impact alert days with those 90s below 5,000 feet for the mountains. You're back into the 80s on Friday and 87 degrees a week from today. You have the 1-teens for the desert with weather impact alert days, the extreme heat warning, and then daytime highs get a little bit closer to that 107 seasonal mark, and that's going to be at 108 by Saturday, 109 on Sunday. Please take care of yourself out there. Make sure you're staying nice and hydrated. And also, any more additional alerts, of course, we'll continue to have it right here on our streaming service, and also download the CBS 8 app. Any additional alerts, they'll go out right there on your phone and get it right to you. I hope you have a great night, and thanks for tuning in.